He asked us if we wanted tequila. That's a lie. We're not a homebody.
Okay, first of all, don't flatter yourself. I ask every guest if they want tequila.
No, don't flatter yourself. Because
And somehow you ended up getting wine.
Because we're at your home. When you're chilling at home, you're not popping open tequila.
What you mean?
Why not?
Why not?
You
don't
I pop
believe
open tequila when I'm
Yeah.
at home sometimes, not by myself,
We're
but
gonna talk about this on the ride home.
not by
Oh, we can talk about it right now. Welcome back, man, to
Welcome
Can
back.
I Buy With Y'all, where the vibes are immaculate every time
Every
we
time.
do this. If it's your first time watching, it's your boy Kaz. You can follow the IG at CAZ_0.
And again, you already know it's your boy Chris. You can follow me on IG at Mathis023.
Sir. And we got a big squad today.
Yes, we do.
We said we would keep it at 4, but somehow we end up with 5. So here we are. You ladies can introduce yourself real quick.
I am Lily.
Kat, nice to meet
I'm
you.
Lauren.
Lily, Kat, and Lauren.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like we're in for a treat.
We are.
Because, you know, when the group is big, it gets kind of crazy sometimes.
Oh.
So I don't know if you have listened to us before, watched us before.
We did our homework.
You did your homework?
did.
We're ready.
Well, the topics switch every time. So
I know. I had a feeling.
as we say, we like to jump right into it. Talk a lot about this dating, relationships, yada, yada, yada. And a topic today we're going to start with is, we'll generalize it. We can speak hypothetical, but how do y'all feel about couples who still live together after breaking up?
That just
exists.
never works.
Oh, you straight to it.
I mean, I just feel like, come on, you dated and now you're just gonna like cohabitate together. Like, what if the other person brings home another friend? Isn't
Can
that
you,
awkward?
Can you
Well,
go
there's
more
couples
in
who do
detail
it.
about that?
Can I what?
Can you go more in detail about that? Like just in general, them living together?
They break up but say they can't afford to move
Well,
apart.
then you can't really do anything about that.
So what's your thoughts on that?
I mean, it sucks, but you know.
Well,
it
we're speaking
happens.
hypothetical.
Yeah.
You don't have to bring personal experience. Maybe it happened to you.
Lily got trauma.
I do not. This is my first rodeo, so I don't know anything about that. But no, I mean, that's kind of an inevitable thing. Like, you can't really go outside of that if you can't afford it. If there's external factors within you living with that person and, like, you can't go your separate ways, it happens, you know? So if you have the means to separate and finally move out somewhere, then you move out. It's not that deep. I mean, at least I don't think so.
It definitely really depends on the situation. Honestly, I feel like if you could afford it, move out. It's not worth it. You know, rent is high. It's very hard to move anywhere. And so considering that, you know, factor, I mean, it's definitely going to be harder. You probably will still be attached. And there'll be nights where it's like, oh, we've fallen back into the same pattern.
If it was a good breakup, a bad breakup, I guess.
True.
That
Every
would
situation is
determine it.
different.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, on this podcast, we like to get into detail. So let's say hypothetically, you're in this situation, but you can't afford to move out. He can't afford to move out. What you doing? Let's start with you, actually. Let's start with Chris.
Me?
Yeah.
Again, it all depends on if it's a good breakup or a bad.
Could you be friends with this person?
If it was good, yeah. If it was bad, I'd probably move back home with my parents.
Yeah.
That's a good
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
I didn't think, well, I mean, it depends on how you are with your parents. So.
Oh.
So would you rather,
Ooh.
I mean, I don't know your situation. Like I said, we don't have to get personal.
My dad and I are homies, but
Okay.
I wouldn't live with him. You know, I mean, I think once you get to a certain age, like, you don't want to move back because of like a pride and ego
Right.
thing. Because you're like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm an adult. Like, I don't want to be living.
You're already
alone.
too independent.
Yeah.
It's also when you lived on your own for so long, it's a lot harder to go back home.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
very
Because you have a certain lifestyle right now,
Yeah.
It'll
right?
tip you
Yeah.
over the edge so fast, and then you want to leave.
But if it's like a safety precaution, or like you're being stalked by this person, or it's just not a good environment to be around,
That's bad.
You said hypothetical, so I'm bringing them to you. If it's one of those scenarios, then yeah, absolutely. Or you can stay with a friend, you know, for sure. But
Or a friend.
I think that would
Yeah.
be.
Yeah.
I think that would be my option. I'd hit
Yeah.
up everybody. Like, yo,
Yeah.
going through it right now.
I'd
Because
couch
it's also like, I feel like no guy and girl, especially if they did, it can really like be friends.
Oh man.
Well, especially living.
I
living
think
together.
so, but I saw like a video and a guy walked around asking girls if guys and girls can just be friends, and all the girls said yes, and all the guys said no.
Ooh, that's interesting. Because our last episode that we posted, the girls actually said no, can't be friends.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They both said
That's.
no.
I mean, yeah.
Did they say that in terms of like what they allow in their relationship, or
I know one girl said if a guy is friends with a girl, there's some type of history to it.
That is true.
I think it depends.
She has a lot to say about everything.
I really do. I mean,
Go
that-
into details.
That
That's
is
why we're here.
That is a topic we actually talked about when we were all together, because when I
Let it
first
out. Just let it out. Just let it out. Go ahead. Go ahead.
when I first started talking to this specific person, he was a little skeptical of me having guy friends. But, you know, I introduced him to all of them. He loved them, you know. But it's not like I hang out with them one-on-one. It's like if they're in town, they're like, oh, we're at the bars. Like, let's go. Bring your boyfriend or something like that.
Okay.
And then they met him, and, you know, I wanted to make him feel as comfortable as possible around my friends, and I would hope he'd do the same with me. But he still had that second
Speculation.
because he was just like, I know how guys are. No, you
Yeah.
don't. You don't.
Oh,
though.
we
Yeah.
do.
And I also think it's different on
do.
how.
Well,
We
even if
do.
They, even if they do, keep it to yourself. Like I'm strong enough to like not let that, you know, impede my judgment. So if you trust me enough to not let that happen, then we're good.
He's not worried about you.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
He's
But
worried
he-
about the other dudes.
But if he trusts you enough, he
He
should be able
knows.
to trust that you wouldn't act on it, that you would say something. And I also feel like how she said that she introduced him and all that stuff. Like, if you're introducing each other and cohabitating together, like all hanging out, and you're not hanging out, like if my boyfriend wanted to go hang out with some girlfriends, like he has a lot of girlfriends that he's known for a while, and he introduced them, like I'm fine. Go
So
have
you're
your
secure.
friendship. Yeah,
Secure.
because I trust him, and he introduced me, and he was open enough to be like, hey, I think it's more sketchy when your partner is like, oh yeah, my best friend is so-and-so, but I don't want you to meet her, or I don't want you
Oh,
to meet
yeah,
him.
yeah, that's
Like,
sketchy.
that's sketchy.
Well, that just sets up the whole
Right.
situation.
Yeah,
Right.
but that's why, like, if you introduce them and you become friends with them, like, I mean, it could still happen, but it's less likely. It's less likely for anything to happen because they're wanting you to meet them and be a part of their life as well. It's just they're friends and
Absolutely.
you're the girlfriend or
Right.
you're the boyfriend. I also feel like it depends how they know them. Like, if they did date and do have a history, it is a little more weird. Like,
Right.
it depends on how much of a history they have. Like, if they were dating for 4 years and we're gonna get engaged, like, yeah,
yeah,
no,
that's like-
don't hang out with them. Or if they dated for 2 years, like if they actually had like those loving and emotional feelings towards each other, yeah, I would probably say don't hang out with them. But 9 times out of 10, if I'm hanging out with a guy by myself that's not a boyfriend, like, we've never crossed a line. Like, there's nothing about it that we cross a line.
Understandable.
I mean, everybody is different in what they expect out of their relationship and what they want their partner to adhere to. Because when you first start dating somebody, you chose to be with that person and their rules and regulations.
Right.
Like, you know.
Yo, what?
Regulation.
You know,
There's an M there. You didn't know?
It's a remix
We're
of
gonna get like a
regulation.
dictionary up here.
like, I mean, like, you chose to be with that person. And for me personally, I've lost a lot of guy friends because of their partners, because they weren't comfortable with it. They were like, I don't want you talking to her. And when he told me that, I was like, okay, I respect that, because that was the situation you decided to get with. And you respect that. And you're with her, so you respect her. You know, and I respect your relationship enough not to get in the middle of that. You know, unless she's like coming at me and just being rude, like that's different. But I'll lay off. I'm not going to text you. I'm not going to do anything like that if that makes your partner uncomfortable. You know, so it's respecting the relationship and what you decided to get into.
I gotta go back to the original question real quick. So I'm sorry, I gotta do it. I gotta do it real quick. So if you're in this situation, having sex with this person, like how hard do you think that would be not to do it? I guess
What do you mean? Like living together?
if you're still living together but you broke up.
Ooh.
I feel like
Okay.
that would
You're
be kind
in
of
the same
hard.
house.
Like if you're
Honestly, it'll be hard.
yeah, I feel like
It's
it's hard because it's
nothing-
inevitable. Like you
Are both by yourself.
have some feelings one night and you said hey and
Yeah.
you're both right there and you're comfortable and you know like I mean people bounce back to their exes on drunk nights or whatever all the time.
And
I
they,
just
and they
feel
do that
like-
when they don't live together.
Exactly. I mean I'm guilty.
you're
I've
two
done it.
doors
Like
down.
it's just I just
Personal
feel like
experience.
but it's just like it's hard not to. Like you know them. You know them. You're comfortable with them. You know it's not like it's just like you know it's gonna go over well. So why like I feel like putting yourselves in the same house. I don't
There's
know.
temptation.
Yeah,
And
there's
it's like
Temptations,
the
yeah.
easiest fix. Like,
Yeah, now you finish, you're like, damn, we weren't supposed to do that.
Exactly.
and then the cycle repeats again and again.
Yeah.
That's why, yeah.
You probably get back together. It's makeup sex.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I
Basically.
probably, in that case, I'll just find a friend. Actually, no,
Yeah.
she could find a friend. I'm gonna stay in the house.
I pay
Whoever
for the
has
bills.
more friends will find them.
I'm honestly very against that. Like living together as like boyfriend and girlfriend.
It's
Why?
not common.
It's not. I'm not.
Wait, were you
for-
saying like even
You're just
if you're
against
dating?
it?
Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay. Oh,
Why?
get into
even
Wait,
this.
why?
Yeah, because okay.
Oh, girl, come on.
Oh,
Listen,
please get into
I feel like you
this.
get closer.
This is
Okay,
This is-
all right.
this is me
I do.
personally. I'm not speaking on behalf of anybody else. I don't judge you if you do it, but for me personally, I don't think I could do something like that.
Girl, but if you're gonna spend the rest of your life with someone, you need to have a sneak peek.
Right. but you
Exactly,
also-
because they can-
Sure you do. Sure you do. But that's what dating is for.
Yeah,
No,
but
No,
living,
you gotta live with
living
them.
together
You gotta
is
see-
so
It's
different.
very-
I don't know. I don't know.
How
I like-
about you guys live together first? and
No,
let me
thank
know.
you. I'm
Exactly.
okay. I like my relationship. I'd like to keep it.
Yeah,
You,
but
you
like
learn a
they-
lot about a person when you live with them.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh,
They-
yeah.
It's really hard depending on your situation, I think. And I mean, for me personally, I really value my alone time and my privacy, and being in school for a long time, which will be in the foreseeable future. I'm going to need that, time and space, but that's for me personally.
But I feel like after some time, especially if you're gonna live together and you've been with each other for a while, you kind of know each other's boundaries to a point.
Sure.
But
Yeah.
also, there's new boundaries to. Okay. There's new boundaries and privacy to establish once you live together. I mean, it goes. You can make up like a whole contract about it, but like, obviously, when you move in together, it's different.
Yeah,
But like,
I mean,
you have
He might
to
not put the
know.
seat down.
this is true.
So
I mean, I feel like it can go either way. Some people don't live together until marriage, and it's awesome. And some people, it's not awesome, and they find out all their little quirks, and they're like, "Ooh, what did
if
I
you
get into?"
married and then you're like, it's the deal breaker for you.
I
Then
know.
literally
Well,
what I'm
that's the
scared.
scary. That's the thing that like I'm not biased.
get
I wouldn't move in with somebody if I didn't see a future with them. But I just think you need to find out all those quirks. And I feel like for me personally, if I'm not living with you, I don't know. You can like fart in bed. I don't.
That would
I
be a
wanna-
deal breaker?
No, but I'm saying like you can do something. You can do something that you wouldn't do when we're together. And
Right.
I never knew until we started living together. And you're starting to open up because we're living our lives day to day with each other, and it's different.
You have to though, because I mean, what are you gonna do? Hold the fart in for
I
several
know.
years?
I
12
mean,
years.
hey, gotta do what you gotta do.
Like, yes, you have to.
Chris, I got a question for you.
For me, okay.
I got a question for you because
What's up?
a lot of ladies are guilty of this. You with your lady, you living together,
Yeah.
and she has an uncontrollable snore, like a nasty one, nasty snore all through the night, especially when she's drunk.
Like, what's the question?
What you gonna do? Can you handle that?
No.
Compromise?
No, she gonna break my sleep.
Get her a
Are you
CPAP
kidding?
machine.
Use a CPAP.
That's what I just said.
That's like white noise.
That's
for
once you get married, then you.
I have a very low
I'm
tolerance.
not
I'd rather
attacking
just cut
anybody.
and keep it moving, to be honest.
There's a
Honestly,
lot of medical.
What if the
ways you can
next
fix
one
that.
has a snore?
No.
On to the next one.
A lot of people snore, so
Hey,
It's
it's
a
a
valid
deal breaker
question.
for some people.
You're,
Snoring
you're
is a deal
breaking my
breaker.
sleep. Like, I'm probably gonna be in a moody. I'm just gonna be moody in the morning. It's
Then I'm
not.
just gonna break up with you.
What if you
I'd rather just find someone that
what
doesn't.
if you get older, you develop a snore?
Then I go to the doctors and get that checked out, as she should.
You can get
Yeah,
his
okay, I
and her
was gonna say, like,
CPAPs. You can both have CPAPs and
matching.
Get them designs.
Instead of a ring, you
but
guys have
dazzle them.
matching CPAP.
Exactly.
That's
Something to
romantic.
consider.
Okay, so what about you?
With a snore?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not about me right now.
Nah, no.
He's like, she's gone.
Nah, he
cut.
snores.
Oh.
That's the plot twist.
She gotta
You're
go.
the snorer.
I'm actually not this. I'm the twitcher.
Every single guy is a twitcher.
Oh yeah. Well, almost a lot of girls are snorers. So.
Out of me.
Hey, I only
Fair
snore
enough.
sometimes.
It's okay. Guys twitch.
I think I
Really
could
hard.
I kind of have to deal with it because if I'm moving in my sleep and you snoring, I feel like snoring is worse though because it's like
It
No,
depends
it's-
on how loud.
No.
you're being obnoxious.
It depends on how loud, but it also the twitching. I've been in situations where I've been slapped in the face
Yeah.
because they
Okay,
twitch.
that's
So that's not like
Yeah.
they mean they didn't like full on like slap me, but they
Yeah,
twitch.
literally, like,
And
questions.
Oh, that's you.
Oh my
I'll
god,
be-
stop!
No, it's like full on domestic
I
violence.
thought it was like a shoulder or something.
I'm not gonna say I commit domestic violence on a podcast, but I've hit a few on accident.
You're a twitcher,
We
okay?
can fix that.
Chris, let's throw one of your questions in. We'll go question for question. Surprise me with it.
Okay. Do you think pretty privilege exists in our society? Or if so, what are the pros and the cons of it?
Definitely does exist.
It does.
Oh, yeah.
It does.
Oh,
I
yeah.
won't even sugarcoat it. Pros and cons. I mean, cons. It's not fair. Like
and who's to say like who's pretty or not? Everyone has different standards of pretty. If everyone thought the same person was pretty, we would all be dating each other.
That would probably cause some problems.
that'll cause a little-
A lot of problems.
I definitely think it does exist. And to put it in short, it's just a bias. When you see somebody attractive, you I guess automatically fix yourself or you want to look good for this person. It's just it's an instinct. It happens, and if you're, let's say, serving somebody and they're like, oh, I'm going to just let this one slide because they're pretty, that
Okay.
happens, because they subconsciously think they have a chance with that person. So
Okay.
yeah.
we take it and run.
Oh.
Take the free donut and walk away.
Sometimes
Thanks
they're
so
a little
much for your
creepy though when you
service.
don't take the donut.
Pretty privileged to an extent until it gets
donut
creepy
a
and
metaphor?
weird. And
I don't know.
like-
You said donut. I said donut.
Do you think it exists for men?
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
What would you say is the main difference between men and women?
Honestly, I feel like they're kind of similar. They both hold the stigma of this picture perfect, toned, athletic person. I mean, for a while, you would see fads of oh, dad bods or oh, skinnier guys, and it's all because of who's in the public eye in that moment. I just feel like it's based on the public eye, and people are so easily persuaded by whatever's on Instagram or whatever movies out and actress or actors on the screen, and I just feel like in a way they are very similar because if you look at it, they may be different at different times, but I feel like all in all, everyone thinks pretty or hot or whatever is this athletic, just perfect person that doesn't exist.
So it's basically whatever's trending.
I think so.
Yes. Bars.
Bars?
Sorry, I let the thoughts win. But as far as cons, I don't really.
Let's go. Wait,
there are
did you
any.
you said cons, right?
Yeah,
Pros
pros
and
and
Say some
cons.
Yeah.
pros.
Oh, that was the pro. Free donut.
Free donuts.
Oh, so you get free stuff and
donuts.
Yeah, free services. A better attitude.
Yeah,
Things of that
behavior.
nature.
They say good-looking people move up in their careers quicker than people that are perceived not pretty.
Yes.
I believe it. But then I also feel like it's the opposite too, because I feel like people get judged because they don't think you're smart enough because of the
Yeah,
way
I
you
heard
look.
about that.
Because
Yeah.
I swam my entire life, and I used to be a swim coach, and a mom said that I wasn't allowed to teach her kid because I either looked too young or whatever, something about the way I looked to her, and I was like, I am way more qualified than you think I am, but just because of the way I look, you're not going to let me teach your kid. So I just feel like it can have a positive and negative connotation with work and all that.
Yeah.
So people see this pretty figure and they kind of trust the person more, just because how
Yeah.
they look.
Not always, too.
Because sometimes the prettiest person in the room is perceived as not qualified enough too. Like in general.
Explain.
Like a dumb blonde, or
like a pretty blonde, perky, nice body, heels, and then they're perceived as, oh, not qualified enough. Little do you know, she's probably more qualified to be the CEO or whatever than most of the guys in the chair.
So it goes both ways.
Yes, it does. And
for sure.
Most times, like, there's still that stigma of like the most attractive person in the room, like, for sure. But there are second thoughts, and like that's why a lot of times they say on resumes and CVs not to put your picture, because number one,
or even your age.
Well, the person looking at your resume and your CV is going to look directly at your picture.
It's the first thing you see.
That is just human instinct, and they're going to become biased based upon the rest of your qualifications. So you could be the most plain-looking guy and have like wonderful qualifications, and they still don't choose you, but they'll choose the more attractive guy who has like subpar.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the arts world and acting and modeling and all that stuff. What they look for, you need a cover photo, and they based you right off the bat on a cover photo. And if you don't meet their qualifications on how you look, you don't get the job.
I feel like though, for careers like that, that's what you're going into. That, as sad as it is, like.
No, for sure, but it's just part of like the stigma of like being pretty and not being pretty or whatever.
Yeah.
It's great. I used to be an actor, do a lot of gigs and things like that, and some modeling, and it's crazy, like that perfect picture. What's it called? A headshot.
Yeah.
I don't know why I forgot that, but that headshot, it's crazy how far it can get you.
Oh yeah.
But then people might not even look like their picture, but like you were saying, whoever recruiters looking at it, like, ooh, that's my next talent, just because that one photo. I feel like we kind of do the same on Instagram too.
Oh yeah.
I always kind of like, I look at Instagram as almost kind of like your resume.
That's
not like work wise, but like social wise, I guess that's what people see. The first thing they look at is, the quality of your pictures, or do you do this, do you do that?
I feel like that's your dating resume.
In that case, a lot, for sure.
I don't know.
Would you use it to your benefit to get a job? If you knew you could put your picture on a resume and you knew you would get the job for it, would you use pretty privilege?
Yes.
Okay.
For sure.
I don't think I would. I would want to know that I can earn it without that. Like, I want to know that I'm good enough without being pretty or being the person that they think they want me to be. I want to be like, I am smart enough. I can do this. I don't care what you think I look like or what you think I am. Hey, don't get me wrong. I'll use my pretty privilege sometimes, but I think for stuff like that, I want to know I earned it, because I feel like I was never the A+ student. I was never, but I work hard and I try really hard at what I do and what I want, and I don't want to think for a second that I got it because I'm pretty or because they think I'm this other person that I'm not.
Right. And I mean, that's like, you're highlighting your qualities that you already have.
Yeah.
And the thing is when you say, are you going to use your pretty privilege, I'm not like, oh, I'm going to walk into a room and just because I think I look good, I'm going to get the job. No. It's because I know I can accentuate my features, get their attention visually, and then they'll hear what I have to say.
With skills.
Exactly.
I agree.
And, you can't just like cut that out and be like, oh, that's not a factor, because it is. It's human nature. People are going to be attracted to you, whether it's platonic or not, and it happens. But, especially as women, you have to learn how to use it properly and, step
and
away.
not abuse it.
Well, yeah, you also need to be able to step away from inappropriate situations as well, I mean, like, I tried to get a job at a bar, and the owner started, like, Snapchatting me in bed.
How'd you get his Snapchat?
He had my phone number because he asked me to text him, whenever I was ready to start training. And he started sending me pictures in bed, and I was just like, this isn't going to work,
Red flag.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a whole other topic. We'll save that for another day.
Oh,
So
I
why not?
definitely don't have that job. Okay.
Well, now they know.
They don't know who you're
I
talking
wasn't
about.
applying
Well,
there.
speaking of jobs, do you think you can live off of 100K a year?
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
Depending on the
I'm
location.
hearing no, yes. depending on location.
That's true. Yeah.
No. What you doing, girl?
Who said no?
Me.
Let's start with you.
I mean, no, just because right now everything's so crazy, and I just feel like, I don't know. I know people that are making 3 figures, and they're living on their own, but there's struggles. Like, but I also feel like it depends where you live. Like, you're living in California, probably not. You're living in New York, probably not.
You're living in South Florida.
I mean, yeah, depending on where you are, I feel like, yeah, you can make a living. Like, you can live on your own and be comfortable and be, like, financially stable. But I also feel like in instances, like, it isn't enough now. Things are getting, like, so expensive.
I mean, it also depends on your lifestyle as well, because
Yeah.
what your lifestyle being normal to you might not be normal to other people. Like, let's say going to Publix is your norm. Like, every week you go to Publix to get your groceries for the week. Publix is expensive. It's more on the expensive end. It's not like Whole Foods or Fresh Market, but that's normal to you.
It's more than Walmart.
So when somebody, well, yeah, when somebody is saying like, oh, it's because you go to Publix, and you look at them like that's normal. A lot of people go to Publix, you know, that's not normal to them, you know. So it's your lifestyle. That is a part of your lifestyle, you know.
Yeah.
But you can also, if money is really a problem, you need to adjust the lifestyle.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what I
Absolutely.
mean?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Some people are used to that lifestyle. They're like, no
That's-
way I'm going to
yeah,
Walmart.
yeah.
I'm sticking with
Then they
Publix
gotta make
forever.
more money. They gotta find a place or find
I love
a
how we
living
use
situation.
I mean,
Then find a living
it makes
situation,
sense.
whether in state, out of state, of Florida, of course, and adjust
Yeah.
to that because it's hard. It's getting expensive.
It
It's,
is.
You
It
can't be
is.
picky as much unless you make more than 100K. Then
yeah.
by
Well,
all
for
means.
this question, we'll say 100K even.
Down here.
Yeah.
down here,
It's
yes,
doable.
it's doable.
Yeah.
There's
Let's say
It's not
100,
all
100K.
No, I'm
with a
sorry.
kid.
I think we're like
Maybe in
completely
Miami, no.
being tone deaf
Miami.
about this.
I mean, it depends on
Probably
how
not.
expensive you want to
It
go in your
depends on
apartment.
it depends on your living situation. It depends on your hobbies, your mode of exportation. Like that. That's different. There's a lot of factors that could vary into that, you know. But
overall in
it's very,
Florida,
very doable.
100%.
Yeah.
Very doable.
It's-
Very doable? You're saying
Yes.
yes, and no?
Well, I think it's doable here. I don't think it's doable anywhere, everywhere.
Okay, so let's say add a kid in the mix.
Oh, hell no.
Kids
How
are
about take the kid
no.
The kid's in the mix.
I mean,
The kid
if
is here.
you and your partner are both making 100K, maybe.
No, that's different. That's
Kids-
200K, 100K.
No, kids are expensive. And like, especially if you're not breastfeeding and you're giving formula is expensive and it's hard to find right now.
I was about to say, you can't
right
even find
now,
it.
like,
Yeah.
you're probably spending even more for formula. Like, and I mean, kids probably go through like 700 diapers a day. Like, I don't know. I just feel like it gets so expensive. And even schools, when I moved down here and we were looking at high schools for me to go to, and some of them are just expensive as going to college. And that's ridiculous. Like, you should have to pay for college when you go to college. Like, not when you're going to elementary school. So,
College is a luxury. Like
yeah.
that's-
Oh, yeah.
You know, you can sit there and go to college and be like, oh, I went to college, so I'm smarter than you.
Yeah.
No, you're not.
No.
Like, you can learn however you decide to do that.
Oh,
but
yeah.
It's an expensive luxury. That's all it is.
Oh, yeah.
It really is.
It really is. But the sad part is that it's needed now. Like,
Says
To
everybody
even
here with a
get a-
degree.
I know.
To
I
even
mean,
get a job,
I'm
though,
not
nobody wants anyone
without
a bachelor
one
or
because
even a
not
associate.
like, yeah, like my dad didn't go to college and he's doing so well for not going to college. Like, I applaud that man so much.
But I feel like back
now
then it was easy.
it was different.
Such a
Yeah.
nice
Like
opportunity.
right now, I know someone who had their associates in nursing, and by the time that I went to college in 2016, they said, nope, we are taking bachelors. If you have associates, it's slim pickings, and they need nurses. Like, they needed nurses. So they were like, no, we're not even going to take you if you don't get your bachelor's. And it's expensive. I mean, college can be like $50,000 a
expensive.
year
Yeah.
So
plus.
take the kids out of the equation.
So-
I feel like it also
Yeah.
depends on what you want to do. Like, if you know you want to be a nurse, then yeah, you probably should plan to go to a good college.
Oh, yeah.
Get your bachelor's, master's, maybe PhD, whatever. But if I don't know, say you want to do a trade, college enough, because it's also not for everyone. Like you said, it's a luxury.
Oh, no.
So I'm not against it, but I also feel like it depends on what you want to do.
Right.
Like me, I'm doing a podcast right now. I'm definitely not using my degree. My degree's in criminal justice. I'm the complete opposite right now.
Well, that's the crazy part is that so many people graduate and have their degree and don't even use the degree that they got. So it's like you have that. You
actually, what were you? You were marketing, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, technically, yours applies to this a little bit more.
I don't use anything. I learned in college. Nothing.
You might
Nothing.
You might use it, but not know you're using it.
It's all
Might
like,
not know you're using it.
I'm not using a SWOT analysis right now.
oh my god, those things were brutal.
Yeah.
I hated those.
Yeah, I mean, it's true. You pick and choose what you keep in your curriculum and whatnot. I mean, I didn't really use mine either.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, and I'm trying to go to medical school. Like,
Don't go to Lilly.
But they don't teach you how to trach someone in your undergrad. They're like,
No.
the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. That's
Oh my
all
gosh, that's all
remember.
I
Like,
hear. Anything
know.
science.
To this day, I cannot stand y equals mx plus b.
Slope.
I'm going all the way. Whatever.
Yeah, I remember that too.
And that's going all the way back to high school. They used to press us about it. Never used it since. I don't think I ever will use it.
Oh my gosh. There's someone on TikTok that talks about like all the things that were pointless that you learned in school. And I'm just like, that is so true. But then everyone goes back and is like, it's to make you think and use your brain and all that stuff.
Think about what?
And I'm like, do you think y equals mx plus b or writing all of those proofs made me smarter?
No.
I don't think so.
I think on this podcast right now is the first time I've used it since high school. In a sentence.
Probably.
You
Did not use it
the
up.
formula.
Somehow.
What about
Yeah.
you?
Well, what?
Do you think you could live off 100,000
I think I could.
with a kid?
Let me answer the normal question
You
first.
can't go out like you normally do.
I don't go out. I be chilling. I'm a homebody.
Okay.
Homebody.
He knows
Wholesome
things he
activity only, Kevin.
He asked us if we wanted tequila. That's a lie. We're not a homebody.
Okay, first of all,
If you're
don't flatter
drinking-
yourself. I ask every guest if they want tequila.
No, don't flatter yourself because
And somehow you ended up getting wine.
because we're at your home. When you're chilling at home, you're not popping open tequila.
What you mean?
Why not?
That's
You can-
Why
That's the-
not?
You don't
I pop
believe me?
open tequila when I'm
Yeah.
at home sometimes. Not by myself,
We're
but
gonna talk about this on the ride home.
not
Oh,
by
we can talk about it right now.
Hey,
talk about
I don't pop it open by myself, but like, girls' night at home,
don't
getting a
have to
little
joke
crazy.
a lot of it.
Of
If
course.
you're watching a crime
gets
documentary in bed.
You don't drink wine when you do that?
Absolutely. But it's wine.
You don't drink tequila when you do that?
Absolutely not.
You don't have the girls over, pop open some tequila?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I did.
No.
Listen, all the homies invited. We pre-gaming. We got the
Oh, yeah.
Don Leo,
Like that.
Patron, Casamigos, whatever.
100%.
No, I don't. I only drink mainly in like social settings or like if I'm cooking. That's about it.
Oh,
How does cooking
I
excuse
just
the
wanna
drinking?
Turn on some island music.
I want to feel something when
you'll
I'm
drink
cooking.
tequila while you're cooking?
No,
Oh.
wine or
Oh.
beer.
Okay, I don't sit here by myself and drink wine. Okay, I'm sorry, not wine, tequila.
Okay.
That's in a
okay,
social
that's fair.
setting.
That's fair. Okay.
Yeah.
If I'm
But
having
they gotta
people
have it for
over,
the guests.
Okay,
I'll
that's
have
fine.
tequila.
I was a little concerned because I thought you were drinking tequila alone. That was the impression I was under.
no.
Well, now
That-
we know.
Well, don't judge him
Now
if he
we know.
wants.
And if
What
and
if
if
he
I
has a
did,
hard
I've done it
life?
before.
If he has a hard life, I'm here to fix that.
No, you're not.
I don't want the guy dying.
Listen, I got my psychology major. Let's break it out. Let's
It's
lay
nothing some
everything on the
tequila
table.
can't fix.
You're not wrong.
I'm supposed to answer the question. I don't know.
What was the
100K.
With a kid.
Wait. Let
Oh,
me start. Let me start normal.
Okay.
I will admit I am a little bit bougie sometimes.
Okay.
So I would have to make some budget cuts. But I think I could live off 100K for sure.
In Miami, there's
Mi-
always something to do. And you
Miami's
like
gonna,
to go out a lot.
Why do you keep saying that? We just
like-
steered away from the topic.
Go ahead. I'm okay. Go ahead.
You go out just as much as me because I'm with you.
That's facts. I do. I like to go out. 100,000 is not enough.
Miami, I would say no, but I also don't want to be at a point in my life where I'm living in Miami, in my 40s,
Okay.
maybe outskirt. I mean, I don't really plan to be in Miami in my 40s as it is, but I definitely want to live downtown Miami in my 40s.
You want to be around that scene.
Yeah, right now, for sure, I could do that. I think I could live off 100K for sure. I don't got no kids.
No one knocking
Let's
on
keep
your
it that
door
way.
with the pregnancy test.
Daddy.
With the kid, I don't think I could do 100K.
Nah.
That's too much. That's why I'm not against kids, but I definitely don't want any kids right now.
What did they say? There was like a rule of thumb for kids. It's like one kid on average, their expenses is about $2 million till they're 18.
Oh damn.
It's $2 million?
2 mil.
2 million.
Yeah.
Damn.
Honestly,
For
that
gambling.
sounds about right.
That's what
It's only
and
getting
that's I
higher.
read that. I mean, there's definitely a margin of error somewhere in there,
Yeah.
but you know, that's a generalization. For
I
sure.
mean, and that's just till 18.
It's definitely at least a mil.
Me and my brother
Yeah,
are still getting
100%.
money from our parents. We ain't 18 no more. So
Yeah, so there's all the expenses.
Yeah.
they probably
Yeah,
like,
a lot of kids get an allowance.
well, I
when
don't
they're
get
in
an
college.
allowance, but like
I wish
Well-
they like help me pay for things. Like if
Yeah.
I don't have a
I
job
brought you to
and
the
like
world.
in college, but like even my brother's living out of the house and like he's still on their insurance. Like he's not fully on his own. And I mean, that's $2 million for till 18. I'm 23 and he's 26. So
I wish.
I'm pretty good with money, so I think 100K I could do it for sure. The only factor that would make me not be able to do it is as a kid.
Yeah, that changes everything.
Yeah.
But
Oh, yeah.
I mean, of course, I'd rather have more than
However,
100K.
I feel like a lot of people have done it with less than 100K. Like
Oh,
I know
for sure.
Oh, yeah.
a lot
Sure.
of parents, single parents, fine with less than 100K. It's a lot harder, of course.
Yeah.
100K kind of gives you a starter, but it's, I mean, in the society we are living in today, it's still not enough.
Yeah.
yeah, I feel
But
like
it's doable. I feel
yeah,
like
I definitely
there's
feel
room.
like it's doable. I just think it depends on what you want to do, what you're buying. Don't buy your kid $40 PJs. Buy them the $12 PJs from Old Navy if you don't have the money to spend that much.
Yeah.
I feel like, back to what you were saying, like, for example, you said I go out a lot. But I feel like if you have a balance, like, say you shop a lot, but you have this designated amount of money towards your shopping.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I already know, all right, I can afford to go out on certain nights
Yeah.
because I have this amount of money allotted to it. But I also, maybe I don't spend on food during the week. I cook at home all week. So, you know, going out, it's not a big deal. And, you know, whatever your fix is, maybe you like to go on vacations. Maybe you like to take the boat out and buy a bunch of drinks on the weekend, whatever you do.
Right.
I feel like it's just money management.
If you budget. And you definitely do budget, so.
I do. I mean, I feel like anyone without a kid could definitely live off 100K. But do you guys have any final thoughts?
I don't-
Questions, concerns?
okay. This is something I feel very strongly about. I don't believe in clipping the front bras.
Lily.
And any girl, no, this is a tip.
What?
They're useless. There's no need for them. I think they're annoying and it hurts.
Okay, if we're gonna be real, I can add to this trend. Stop wearing underwear. It's useless.
Whoa!
Don't
What is going on right now? What
Don't use
is
it.
going
so
on
much
right
more comfortable.
Oh my Lord.
You don't get a
I'ma just-
wedgie
how
do
all
we
the
get here?
time.
I'm just
How do
sit
we
here and
get here?
listen. Go on.
How did we get here?
You don't
We're
get
gonna-
wedgies. You're fine. You're chilling.
You are more prone to a wedgie with a hair under.
I don't get wedgies, girl. I do sometimes, but not as much as when I wear underwear.
Okay, Lauren.
Please, Kat, continue
Go
on.
on.
with
Go
the
on,
trend.
please.
I don't know what to
Please.
say. You guys topped it all.
Let's talk about the thing that kids do.
Live. The kids, you know when you become a parent, you have to think everything your kids do is amazing, right? So we
Still
made
recovering.
I love this
Okay,
podcast.
everyone knows I don't want kids. It's fine. I love your little ones. Don't listen to me. Anyways,
Oh
you know the little thing they do when they think they're the little kids. You have to be impressed with everything that they do, right? But I feel like we should stop that. When they spin and clap, you don't need a wow to impress them.
Yeah, they would do anything to get your
I-
attention for
Yeah,
that. And then they'll
like-
just do like a little kick flip and then like clap. And then they're like, I'm amazing. You're not. You need to teach them.
You need to humble them at
You
birth.
do.
Kat's gonna like watch my
This-
kid one day and it's gonna say its first word and Kat's gonna be like, and I talk all the time.
This is our 60-somethingth episode. And I always say every time, does anybody have any final thoughts? hey, I just want to drop my IG. No, it was fun. It was a good time.
Really?
This really is the wildest I have heard.
Best time ever.
100%.
I don't like kids. Okay, got it.
Sorry. FTK.
FTK
Hashtag. That's
2022.
what I'll express to you guys.
Well, we found the name of the episode.
Yankee no brim.
We're gonna
Yankee
get
no
out of here
brim.
though before it gets too crazy.
Name it FDK.
Lily, if you name your kid FTK.
No, my kids
I
gonna be
will.
named like
Wait, no.
an
Franklin
island name or something.
Templeton.
They're coming from greatness.
Great.
They need something to precede them.
Whatever you say, Lily.
Also,
Oh,
Colleen
no.
Hoover
Oh.
books.
What?
No Colleen Hoover books. That's it. I'm done.
Oh, I
Cut
love
the
Colleen
cameras.
Hoover.
Exactly.
No, we're not gonna get.
You
can't get
read
into
our
that.
book.
Can't get into
Did
that.
you not
Can't
like
get into
it?
that.
No.
Guilty pleasure. You
Every
love
girl's
it.
like reading.
Can't get into. No,
Books by
that's
that.
an.
No, because it's like porn
Can't
in
get
a
into
book.
it.
It's
Can't get
awesome.
It's a good transition into your next podcast.
It is.
It is.
No Colleen.
Next one we might talk because I started reading one of them.
Oh, so good. Which
Yeah.
one?
Well, I was actually listening to. I listened to the audio. Yeah, because everybody's
even
talking about it. So I'm
worse.
What?
I actually started listening to one to prepare
You
for a
listen
podcast.
to-
That's worse.
I started listening to Ugly
That's
Love.
like-
Oh my gosh, I
That's
just
the
finished
worst
that.
Yeah, see,
Oh.
next episode.
It's so
next
good.
episode.
Everyone read Colleen Hoover,
No,
Ugly
don't.
Love. It's
Don't.
porn in a
Literature.
book,
Read
and it's
actual
amazing.
literature.
Read it. It's
Read actual
I had a
Not read it.
long story short. I had a 3-hour drive, actually 6-hour total back and forth, 3
Do you
hours.
wish you had that time back from you before you listened to
We'll
them?
talk about that next episode. I have a lot on my mind.
That's right.
We're gonna get out of here.
ask you.
No nothing. No IGs. No nothing. We're just gonna say can't follow this podcast. Can't I buy with y'all everywhere? TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Apple Podcast, Spotify. It got a little crazy at the end here, but you know that's how we do. We love it here. So
how we
it was just